Hello, I'm David. It's my most humblest honor to introduce to you an idea I had for a very long time. It's always been a dream of mine, and I'm revealing it to you today. Welcome to Edo. Let's begin. Edo is a hybrid town that fuses both Western and Japanese cultures and lifestyles. The town is a slice of ancient and modern Japan, but located in Texas, United States. The town is divided into areas like in Japan's urban infrastructure. There are residential areas, business districts, shopping districts, and even recreational areas. Edo may even include the use of themed environments from movies, games, and novels to help participants immerse themselves in their own subcultural lifestyles, which I will explain further in a second. The vision for Edo is to create an exciting Western Japanese hybrid culture where people can live their dreams as Japanese enthusiasts and turn their imaginations into complete lifestyles. We are also looking to create a new culture. Therefore, we also highly encourage individuals to create their own subcultures and identities. Edo is a place of art, culture, vision, and imagination. Edo wants to create a community of diverse talent, ideas, trades, and crafts. We also highly welcome the controversial, strange, politically incorrect, and absurd. We encourage our participants to roleplay and live their anime fantasies, original fantasies, and focus on their career paths, explore new careers, and create their own opportunities. Edo is meant to be a town with adventures into a variety of subcultures, worlds, and lifestyles. Edo will have a website, database, and wiki page where individuals can make their own page about their subcultures, tell more about themselves, show off their art and talents, find information about Edo, and use it as a tool to bring the community together. Edo is also a place where Asian ethics and etiquettes fuse with Western society to create an integral, unique, and personalized collective culture where community feels like family. Therefore, there will be a heavy use of Japanese etiquettes, behaviors, and mannerisms while having the openness and freedoms of American culture. The vision for its community is to use Confucian and Buddhist-based fundamental ethics to respect each other, become rational and civil, to create a friendly, trustworthy, and community family-like environment where no one is judged, everyone is accepted as they are regardless of flaws, quirks, negative perceptions, and awkwardnesses. In fact, Edo encourages individuals to be as embarrassing and as awkward as they can. Edo prides itself for being a non-hostile, helpful and guiding, patient, decorous, accepting, and respectable environment. Overall, Edo wants an integral community environment where personality, attitude, and humility can improve the quality of a free-behaving society. Ultimately, it takes the best aspects of both the Japanese and Western culture to create a unique culture, which allows for individuals to dream, experiment, do what they want within consideration of others, and be whoever they want. Edo believes the path to happiness and prosperity relies in personal achievement, vision, more liberty, and less desire for conformity and overbearing rules. Edo wants to rejuvenate the innocence, heartfelt, and beauty of traditional romance, where romantic values are kept strong, pure, and long-lasting. It wants to create a culture where unbreakable friendships are cherished and are used for friends to choose who they want to have a relationship with. Edo believes that as friends, everyone knows how others truly are without the use of social perceptions and statuses. It's also Edo's desire to build a foundation for strong families and uphold the traditional family values. Edo highly encourages the creation of an individual's dream identity, fake or real. It's Edo's personalized culture that a person can choose to make up their own setting for their own reality. An example of this is that Edo encourages its members to make a Japanese first or last name and fuse them with their original name. If a person desires, they can make up their own life story. Edo will have a variety of Edo-made cultural customs and original subcultural-made customs. For example, it's an Edo custom for newcomers in Edo to be made fun of by existing members. Members are encouraged to make poses and humorous gestures at newcomers. An example of this is when people see a new member. They are encouraged to humorously intimidate, randomly strike a pose or a kabuki pose, or make funny faces at the newcomer. If the newcomer replies with a charismatic response, the members are encouraged to bow in respect and perhaps even show appreciation or demonstrate their excitement for a new member. Another widely used custom in Edo involves to bow first before shaking hands and may be followed by a hug and kissing on the cheek like in European countries. Another example of an Edo-made custom is individuals are allowed to carry unsharpened swords in public, which can be used as a form of ID, and perhaps even display personality. This form of ID is unnecessary, however offers an interesting reason to make one feel more unique. Swords aren't the only form of ID. There is also hairpins and other accessories for females. Moreover, Edo also has a variety of other accessories that can be used as a form of ID. Outside of Edo, membership relations are encouraged to continue. When another person sees an ID or item from Edo, they are encouraged to keep that family community value and share something in common. Another strange Edo custom will include foam baffle LARPing swords, goggles, headgear, and perhaps regular martial arts sparring gear in sealed public boxes found throughout traditional Edo, for people to use and challenge each other to public duels. Edo would like the idea where everyone in traditional Edo are expected to know how to sword fight. The reason for having these usable weapons is to allow members the ability to blow off steam, settle differences, and overall practice the use of actual usable martial arts. We also encourage members to bring and carry their own LARPing weapons and equipment into traditional Edo if they desire to challenge others. These boxes can be also found in modern Edo parks and selected public institutions. These are just a few customs. Edo is filled with customs and specialities that will enrich the Edo lifestyle experience. Edo's cultural customs are also part of the journey of living in Edo. Edo encourages the exploration of each and every one of these customs. We believe Edo is a place where individuals can escape the usual everyday standard version of life and create a place that's new, fresh, and exciting. We also want Edo to be a place where people can be more honest, open, create new culture, or if they want nothing to do with society, they can be understood, accepted, respected, and encouraged to do great things for the community. We want no one to be a stranger, and to treat everyone as friends, knowing that they will refrain from being rude and angry, and instead turn to remain patient, never hostile, and to be the kind of people that will let you wrap your arms around another or hug strangers despite not having them know you. In Edo, unity is the common bond. Balance, functionality, convenience, happiness, and harmony are at the core of Edo's lifestyle environment. Edo also has symbols which make it a unique town from others. Its main town flower is the sunflower. Its second town flower is the cherry blossom. Its main town colors are light tan and white, and its town animal is also a fox. Edo will have a microeconomy, which will have an extremely cheap way to live and easy access to temporary day jobs for quick cash. Edo will also allow for the grand and luxurious for those who can afford it. Edo will use Japanese, English, and Japanglish as its primary language. Street signs and urban texts will be a mix of English, hiragana, katakana, and kanji with hiragana microtexts. Edo will utilize both the Japanese and American holidays along with its own holidays. We want it to be a place where there's always something exciting happening every month. We believe in the festivities and community can help relieve the stresses of a busy world and bring people together. We also believe the best things in life come free. Therefore, we want to have special activities and amusements, free of charge, available anytime. The reason Edo has a cheap rent culture is because it believes the world has become too inhumane and even inhabitable for those who have very little. Edo is for people who want to partially live in the past or have a harmonious leisure and laid-back culture where life can be enjoyed at a reasonable pace. It also welcomes people of all backgrounds who feel they do not belong in the average American society. Because Edo desires to create a friendly community, Edo desires to have a destruction of labels, dissolving of social statuses and classes, and a removal of stereotypical and irrational perceptions of others. Edo wants to raise the idea of community and that if one dreams and achieves, everyone achieves. Controversially, since Edo is surrounded by the world of art and alternative lifestyle visions, it will allow for the casual use of nudity within moderate and respectable measures. In Edo, we believe freedom is the ability to do what makes a person happy, as long as it doesn't insist on the happiness of others. Therefore, we are open to new ideas involving nudity and artistic expression. Because Edo is a town on private land and operates by membership, it will allow for the moderate use of nudity within moderate conditions. Edo desires that nudity remains casual and eventually seen as normal. We desire members to look beyond the body and ignore what may arouse them. Just like in Japan, this is our version of skinship, a discipline in which not only everyone is embracive of rational human physical contact, but also to overlook the body of another, build tolerance for nudity, have an appreciation for another's open display of humility and bareness, and to do our best to disregard the ability to be aroused. It's our desire that everyone respects the bare bodies of others and to act casually around nudity. Edo desires members to groom themselves, males in particular to be hairless, and maintain physical fitness if they were to display themselves in the most humblest and rawest human form. Moreover, Edo encourages the fashion use and commercial use of involving nudity. Edo highly discourages the sexualized use of nudity. Sexuality in Edo is unclear and has yet to be debated among its community due to the personal and artistic expression. It's Edo's greatest desire to maintain ethics and moral values in nudity and sexuality. Although we prefer the creative use of nudity to be utilized in fashion and advertisements, we prefer nudity to be used in a manner where people remain clothed but rather have a tolerance for seeing nudity rather than going about their day in the nude. If an individual are interested in public exhibition, we prefer to be utilized only around one's own property, one's own vehicle, at a park, forest, or areas where there is bodies of water. Essentially, this is our vision for conservatism in nudity, where there is a social tolerance, heavy respect, and leisure care of personal accidental exposures. Edo desires to create gender cohesion and gender neutrality, where females and males create an attitude that removes gender barriers and perceptions and instead focuses on being completely equal, which disregards gender limitations and differences. Edo wants gender cohesion to create a bonding experience where friends, associates, and strangers can shower or bathe together, groom with each other, dress together, sleep non-sexually together, participate in activities that would be perceived to be gender-specific, and overall treat each other as if they were family or friends. Imagine having a large group of female and male friends, where they didn't care about gender differences and accepted everyone for who they are and how unique they are. Imagine this group having their arms around each other as if knowing each other since birth. This is the kind of ideal we want for our community and friendships. An example of this idea can be in a soccer team made up of male and female genders. The teammates of this team are extremely close, like family. The team showers together, enjoys the company of each other, trains hard together, travels together, and competes against other teams. When they all celebrate, they celebrate with each other as a whole. It's an idea where both male and female genders get along with each other, find a productive way to disregard sexual desires, and ultimately form a close bond or community which overlooks gender differences. Regarding new cultures, Edo highly discourages the dark ideas and potential harmful practices involving the occult and secret societies. However, Edo desires the experimentation of new and original ideas. Edo is a town that wants to centralize on manufacturing goods. Manufacturing will be its key to survival, expansion, and reputation. Edo desires to be the leading manufacturing town for goods, new ideas, inventions, innovations, and artistic visions. Although Edo will rely heavily on imports, Edo will also want to bring back a culture of American-made products with the labor ethic of valuing the importance of its employees before profit margins. Edo holds a social responsibility to exclude businesses with greedy and unethical practices. We believe employees and business ethics are at the forefront of business achievement. Edo wants to be recognized for its attention to detail, great quality, and ability to go beyond the means to deliver more for less. Edo also wants to be recognized for its work ethics, safety, and ability to work together, even in cooperation with competition. Edo will manufacture large volumes of products, and will experiment with the idea to work underground for noise reduction purposes. Edo wants to be respectable and considerate for its noise pollution. If possible, Edo's underground system will be interconnected so that transportation underground as well as above ground can help commuters get to their destinations faster. Edo encourages businesses of all sorts. It prioritizes on local and small businesses rather than large corporations. It believes true innovation and the rise of infrastructure comes from those with new ideas, risks, and dreams. Essentially, Edo believes money is a byproduct of prosperity, to which economic and social infrastructure will deliver more to wealth in the long term than corporations and private institutions. Businesses will be allowed to operate 24 hours a day if they desire. If a business owner desires a relaxed business work ethic, they can set up a relaxed schedule where they are contacted for work or choose to work on random days. Edo will desire to pride itself for its opportunity to be the starting point for experimental business ideas, inventions, innovations, and capital raising, fiscal crowdfunding, investing, and social fundraising opportunities. Edo believes success can raise the quality of life for all as a community if individuals are willing to take a chance to help. Because Edo has day jobs and temporary jobs, it encourages businesses to hire people for a day or for however long an individual may want to work. Edo wants a workforce that is partly flexible and dynamic. Therefore, we encourage businesses to have flexible openings for temporary employees. Edo also encourages different or experimental business structures and experiments on setting up a new average for employment. For example, a business can set up 4 hours for part-time, 6 hours for full-time, 8 hours for career time, and a number of hours for trial or day job employment. Edo will also bring back the idea of the traditional American dual handshake honor code system in business where if one shakes on a promise, one keeps their promise. Just like in Japan, Edo's business culture prefers businesses to pay people in cash envelopes. We encourage the use of cash transactions instead of debit cards and credit cards. Edo also allows the leisure use of yen as well as the US dollar. In addition to nationwide banks, Edo will have its own banks. If possible, Edo Bank will include simple, basic, and free secure banking features for members. This feature will allow individuals to deposit and withdraw only, and free of charge. Regarding services, postal and delivery services will mainly be done by motorcycle and bicycle throughout the day. Trash and recycling pickups will mostly be done early in the morning, and will utilize a reliance of individuals to separate their trash, paper, and recyclables. The specific geological location of Edo is yet to be determined. Edo would like to be established between Austin, Houston, and Dallas with an initial size of 100 to 800 acres. It would be a dream to grow Edo to 1,800 acres or more. Why Texas? Because it's the perfect environment with the right environment regulations. It's a state with low taxes for business, fair legal regulations, good infrastructure, second largest civilian workforce, best in the nation export with dynamic transportation networks, and home to leading companies. I also believe since Texas holds strong to its morals and values, and perhaps has a strong attitude that's different from the rest of the United States, it's the perfect place to bring a diverse yet similar attitude hybrid culture. I believe Edo can be the hidden gem in Texas, and can help make Texas extremely proud and stand out from the rest of the United States. Since Edo desires to incorporate ancient Japan in the 1700s and modern Japan, there are two visions for the town of Edo: ancient traditional and contemporary and modern. The current vision for Edo's design is to build an overall rectangular shaped layout which has a main road that leads into modern and contemporary commercial center of Edo. There will be three entrances from the public road. Traditional Edo will occupy the top left area of Edo. The main road of traditional Edo, which will be a heavy commercial area, will lead horizontally into Edo's main and modern contemporary commercial center road. Like an L shape, this L shape will help for Edo's expansion. Edo's main road will be two large lanes. Both large four-lane roads will go to a single direction to prevent traffic. Utilities such as gas, electricity, and water will also be local operated. We will use piping for sewage and water to be used in an underground grid layout to make utilities organized and easy to repair or change. All major utility structures such as treatment plants, energy grids, and perhaps train stations will be possibly located outside of Edo. Edo also wants to consider using wind energy. However, it also perhaps considers the innovative solution to utilize homes to carry solar panels and use an innovative idea to allow homes to power themselves or operate in a circuit where the entire town is connected and shares solar panel operating as a single large grid. Edo zones will utilize the Japanese standard for zones. Essentially, we will select areas of the city for different zones. Example of zones we will use will be low-density residential areas, high-density residential areas, low-density commercial areas, high-density commercial areas, office and building districts, and industrial areas. We are also looking to connect large buildings or skyrises with building bridges to make commute between structures more easy, unique, and while also offering a nice public view of the town. Edo's primary source of income will be from its renters and purchasable properties. It will operate as a nonprofit and recycle the money to improve and maintain its infrastructure and quality of life for members. Edo will not focus on creating higher profits, but to focus on improving the quality of life and experience of its members. Edo will also feature a constitution for its administration to uphold and abide to ensure Edo does not fall into the hands of greed, corruption, and disloyalty. Edo's administration will be run as a democratic republic process, primarily upholding its town constitution. Much like Japan, those who have the most virtue and ethics and honesty are kept in office, while those who participate in slight fraud, corruption, or are caught telling more than one lie, to which an apology is expected, will be removed immediately and prohibited from running for office again. Edo will have a leisurely, dynamic, and simple rent culture. Rentals will have a large variety of options. They can spend as low as $50 for a single room, along with access to communal laundry, bathroom, baths, and showers. It can also go as high as $500 a month for an average apartment. Also, if desired, it can also go as extravagant as $500 to $5,000 a month for a full luxurious traditional Edo or modern contemporary home. Edo's rented rooms, apartments, and other rent locations are non-destructive, may also allow for pets, and may also require an initial down payment of possibly 1 month's rent in advance. Edo will also allow for 3 months to catch up on rent, if needed, and will supply with downgrading options. Edo also allows the option to buy homes, business locations, and even buy lots to build your own dream home or farm. Unlike renting, buying locations can be expensive. However, keep in mind, Edo's lot sizes are the same as in Japan, and by nature will be smaller than expected. Edo desires to have a large forest area with a public lake. This forest area will have built-in secret ninja structures for social use, many paths, unique Japanese features and plants, and tiny houses that are free for public use if one desires to get away from the city. Edo desires to be almost completely accessible to members, where individuals can explore the town and not worry about what location is accessible or not. Individuals are allowed to display a notice of privacy, which should be respected. However, it's Edo's desire that any individual can climb on roofs, explore through people's backyards, and even have the freedom to swim in its public fountains. Edo believes this open nature will expand on having an open and free community. Edo desires to create a culture that offers privacy but encourages individuals to have none. An example of this can be seen in some of Edo's modern contemporary homes, where rooms are almost entirely exposed by glass. The reason for this is to encourage its community to embrace human nature in its most humble and liberating form. It's Edo's vision to cast aside differences and unite its community under an accepting, humble, and privateless association or bond with each other. It's Edo's belief that this is the future of human interaction. It's a vision for Edo to be so safe and rely so much on personal ethics that everyone can leave their door unlocked at any time, people can sleep anywhere they want in public, people can leave their wallets in public and no one will care to pick it up, everyone throws away their trash and makes the personal effort to keep the town clean. And overall, members of Edo want to create an environment for a completely harmonious and functional community, and an experience that only can be found in Edo. Edo understands the challenges to create this kind of environment. However, we believe it's possible. However, we believe that it also starts through our vigorous screening process. Being that Edo wants to create and cater to a world of its own, it does not want to involve political correctness or political narratives. Edo desires members to be intellectual, have their own original opinions, and disregard political narratives from mainstream sources being forced upon them. Debates will be encouraged. However, it will be encouraged in a rational, light-spoken, civil, and respectable manner. Edo will have its own education system, teaching both Japanese courses and American courses. It will primarily simulate Japan's style of education. It would also utilize Japan's aesthetics, learning structures, hours, clubs, and so much more. It will also experiment with higher education strategies from educational institutions from around the world. Edo's education institutions will find ways to be compliant to American educational demands, but create an educational environment which will strictly be set on raising the intelligence, intellectual capacity, critical thinking capacity, physical skills, subject skills, moral values, and imagination of its students while providing a moderate, strict, yet dynamic learning experience. Schools will prioritize teachers, giving them high career equivalent salaries. Edo believes great teachers, complacent boards, and coherent committees can be a great tool for providing quality education to make schools in Edo stand out from the rest of the United States and compete with the best schools from around the world. Edo's schools and universities will also offer opportunities for students to study and venture abroad, and for Japanese, Korean, Taiwanese, and other compatible students around the world to visit Edo. Schools will be both single-track and multi-track to fulfill the needs of its students and provide a variety of options. Schools will not only cater to students, but also to allow the recreational use for role plays, private, experimental, leisure, and continuing education and learning experiences. Edo desires that individuals from high schools to seek a major or a career or to be motivated to create small businesses. High school graduates will be offered a variety of resources and opportunities after they graduate in a large 3-day convention made specifically for graduates. In this convention, if new graduates desire to create their own business, the school and convention will provide resources such as attorneys, financial counselors, wholesalers, field experts, financial guides, and much more to help students in the real world. If students have a major in mind, they can set up a contract or join a company or organization. We are hoping that this could perhaps lead for a student transitioning to a college or track school and get a job in their field as soon as possible. If they miss the convention, they can also try getting a job through traditional means, or wait for another career convention for adults. Edo will have its own university, which will provide the training its members need to work in a town and anywhere in the United States. The town will utilize business owners to teach fast courses for their job requirements and then intern students providing on-the-job training. It will also invite teachers and other instructors from around the country to teach in compliance to Edo's culture. Learning isn't only limited to educational institutions. We also encourage businesses to share what they can of the science of their businesses. We want people to get curious, interested, create competition, and learn more about their environment. Edo will hold farmers and its organic lifestyle to the forefront of its community. Edo believes resources should be fresh and should be GMO-free and organic. It's Edo's desire that its community eats very healthily. In Edo, we want food to be in abundance. Therefore, we will purposely grow food in the forests and city parks and encourage people to take care of it and eat from the plants freely. We also encourage people to have honor boxes in front of their homes, to put food out they don't want, or sell for quick cash. This is also to encourage members to grow their own food and share it with others. In Edo, we will require individuals to separate trash from recyclables and separate recyclables into their own individual stockpiles and place it in front of their homes and in selected areas. In the early morning, Edo's recycling companies will then pick up, transport, refine, reuse, and sell recyclable materials and make new products. Edo desires a culture of less waste and more recycling and reusability. Edo will also reuse bio-waste for its farms and agriculture. Edo will also have sewer treatment systems to treat wastewater into reusable water. In addition to wastewater, it will have its own built-in flood prevention system. Edo will include secure and safe parking that will be absolutely free. Guests will have to purchase tickets and park in a designated guest area while members park in another designated area. In the modern and contemporary area of Edo, there will be streets like in modern-day Japan, where parking will be limited within the downtown area. In the downtown area, parking will most likely be underground. We will also have additional secure and gated lots outside the town and utilize parking garages for convenience. In the traditional area of Edo, there will be roads, but cars and motor vehicles will not be allowed on them. This brings the authenticity of Japan in the 1700s. Therefore, we will supply parking outside this area. We encourage individuals to travel around traditional Edo mostly by walking, carrier, and bicycle. Security is a priority in Edo. Edo will have security cameras on almost every strategic street and entrance. There will also be a gate around the primary perimeter of Edo where parking is located, and another gate around the town to ensure safety and security. Edo will feature underground fire hydrants in the case of fires, and open phone kiosks with video interfaces which will include contact to free emergency services in the case of an emergency. Kiosks will also show random strangers who want to talk, display shoutouts and random comments, offer members to ask people random questions hoping that some random person in public will answer them, and display advertisements, PSAs, events, useful tips, and much more, which will all be done through Edo's website. An interesting idea I thought would make the city very alive and vibrant is to also have buildings that are very colorful, have graphical design and elements, and perhaps even futuristic looking architecture. Edo will also have its own security agencies, in which agents will be dressed up as either magistrates from 1700s Japan, which will be encouraged in the traditional era of Edo, or in distinct recognizable uniforms that resembles that of Japanese officers, who will help people and keep the town safe. A security agent's priority is safety, respect, patience, and to serve the public. Security kiosk booths will be located all around Edo, which will operate like police booths in Japan. In the event of severe crime or disturbance, real police will be called on for help. Edo will allow for two kinds of individuals, members and non-members. Members are those who are admitted to rent and live in Edo, while non-members are like tourists. Non-members need to purchase a pass ticket to enter Edo, but are limited to areas they can go, such as traditional Edo, shopping, and business districts. Edo members can go anywhere throughout the town freely. Official police are also unrestricted to access anywhere in the town. To become a member of Edo, applicants go through a vigorous screening process, which checks for crimes, drugs, health, psychological health, financial situation, and an overall compatibility. The screening process is crucial because it indicates if a person is compatible for the requirements of the kind of society Edo wants to create. After an individual becomes a member, they are then given a tour by a security officer or magistrate, depending on where they want to live, and shown the ways of how Edo does things, where to go for necessities, and how everything operates. New members will also be introduced to other members and business mentors who can help them if they encounter any problems. Once they understand the basics of Edo, they are then let loose and free to explore. There are restrictions members must follow to live in Edo. Since Edo wants to maintain an ethical community, it has the ability to remove or ban those who act irrationally, create disharmony, or refuse to follow Edo's ethical norms. A few examples are: it's forbidden to steal, have indecent sexual relationships that create conflict, cheat, physically abuse, bully, engage in irrational physical contact, purposely vandalize, repeatedly litter, commit fraud, engage in bribery and corruption, and distribute illegal content. Any illegal states or federal offenses may apply and become prosecuted by U.S. law. It will be common for Edo to issue light blue initial letters of warning, yellow letters for extreme caution, and red letters for eviction, ban, and dismembering. Essentially, a person gets 3 tries to stop their wrongdoings before they get kicked out of Edo. Nevertheless, if a person feels like they have been done wrong, they can dispute the claim at Edo's main office. Because of the way the world naturally is, Edo desires to have a community that utilizes ethics for the purpose of maintaining a harmonious environment. Edo is a large town that will more than likely cost around $500 million to $1 billion for up to 800 acres. However, because of its initial dream to create a traditional Edo from ancient Japan, it can start construction on traditional Edo, which will cost $5 million for 50 acres of land and 2 to 3 years of construction. Although I think finding investors for this idea would be nearly impossible, if I were to make a massive crowdfunding or investor project of this idea, I would have a variety of back rewards. If we exceed the construction of traditional Edo, then I will level up to modern and contemporary Japan-style Edo. Backers for $1,000 would be granted permanent membership of Edo, $10,000 would be permanent members but also be given their own house and choose from a variety of blueprints. 100,000 would be given all of the above and a large range of free advertisements for their businesses. 1 million would be given all of the above in addition to helping the design of a section of Edo. $1 billion would be given all of the above and their own building. $10 billion would be given all of the above in a large modern Asian luxury mansion and never have to pay for anything in Edo. In conclusion, why Edo? It's a place where time and community doesn't change, where community is free to act separately from the real world along with its average social constraints and conformities, where friends and strangers are like family. Even though life continues moving on, Edo remains frozen in time to be enjoyed and loved by all. Therefore, if one is tired of watching themselves grow old, dreaming of living in a new world, have a desire to create an experiment, who are tired of living the average or worthless lifestyle, paying bills, mortgages, rent, and all the financial struggles, trying to survive a brutal and seemingly dishonest system. If you love Japan and Japanese subculture, if you want to create value for yourself, get recognized for your own work, live the way you want to live, refuse to conform to mainstream expectation, build wealth and build it your own way, and rebuild your own future with new opportunities, and be part of an ethical, integral, harmonious, exciting, carefree, and joyful community, then Edo is the place for you. Personally, although this is a dream I've had for a very long time, I unfortunately know the idea is unlikely to ever happen. It will always be a dream of mine for one day to Edo to exist and be shared and loved by all. In conclusion, Edo was my biggest idea, and I thought it was worth sharing. Thank you. That concludes this recording. I hope you enjoyed the idea, and thank you very much for listening.
promise that you'll never be lonely. Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. In these fast times, chasing lifelines for a lifetime, I've had my heart in the right place at the wrong time with the right girl in another world. Maybe we would be together still if you hate us and resent that.